Did you know that you can learn a language in 48 hours? The technique is simple. Immerse yourself into the language fully 10 hours each of these 48 days. Now, you might be wondering, and this is actually the reason why I'm making this video, is where in the world am I going to get these 10 hours each day from, right? Everyone knows that spending 10 hours a day on learning a language is very hard. It's almost impossible for people with a full-time job. So how can you immerse yourself more fully and actually get to learning the language effectively and efficiently? In this video, I'm going to tell you what you can do to take steps immediately, starting right now, to immerse yourself more fully. So before we get started with the tips and tricks in this video, let me tell you why language immersion is so important. Language immersion is essential if you want to speed up the process of learning. The reason is simple. The more you're exposed to the language, the faster you'll learn. Here are some of my favorite steps that you can do to learn a language. Number one, I'm learning Italian right now. First thing I did is change my phone's language settings to Italian. Number two, listen to a podcast. This one is actually very fun and can be both an active and passive way of learning. You can choose to fully dedicate yourself to the podcast, or you could listen to it while you're on the bus. One tip though is if you're choosing a podcast, choose something that is in the language that you want to learn, but also something that is interesting for you, a subject that actually bothers you. So don't just choose the podcast just for the reason of learning the language, but choose something, a subject that actually bothers you. Third, watch a TV show or movie in your specific language. Fourth, get a pen pal who speaks the language you want to learn. Ideally, if you choose a person that speaks the language you want to learn, then be mindful that you choose somebody that you potentially can help as well. So let's say I want to speak Italian. I want to learn Italian and speak to somebody that actually knows Italian fluently. Then wouldn't it be perfect to have a mutually beneficial relationship with this person where he or she can help me with Italian, and on the other hand, I can help him or her with another language, for example, English or Dutch, which is my native tongue. That way you can both help each other out and make things fun. Fifth one, listen to music in another language. This one is actually a lot of fun, and it really depends on the type of music that you're into, but there are a lot of songs that, they just speak really fast, and I really recommend looking up the lyrics. So not only just listening to it, but also reading what is being said specifically in that song. And then once you get to the point where you know the lyrics, you can even try singing along. And the last tip that I want to share with you guys is listening to local radio in the specific country where you want to learn the language. So I was learning Spanish for many years. It took me about 4 years to learn the language. And while I was learning Spanish, I was very interested in not only getting to know people from just Spain, but also familiarizing myself with accents from other places in the world, like for example, Argentina or Colombia or Bolivia. And exposing yourself to these particular accents will actually help you in many different ways. So guys, these were my tips. Get to it.